Hi everybody, my name is Gio Perez. I want to thank you for tuning into our show. I have Sensei Richardson here with us. And you know what? I want to talk about your background, man. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about your origins.
I'll tell you, starting make it a long story short.
Yeah.
In 1989, I was shot at point blank range twice. I survived the shooting. I swore to myself I'd never be a victim like that again. So I started training in ninjutsu. And the reason why I started ninjutsu other than any other martial art is because I'm a magician as it is. I'm a professional magician. I've been doing magic for some 30 odd years. I said to myself, what martial art would mirror my magic specialty, you know?
Right.
And I said ninjutsu. They were known as magicians of mayhem on the battlefield.
Right.
So I sought out an instructor here in America that would be willing to teach me.
Who was that instructor?
The only person that I could find was the instructor by the name of Frank Dukes. At the time, Bloodsport was out, and everybody was really...
That's what made him famous, pretty much.
Exactly.
Because I've never heard of ninjutsu. I've heard of ninjas, but I've never heard of somebody actually teaching it.
Right. I found one of his instructors at USC and started training with that instructor, an incredible instructor by the name of Stephen Petrus. He's no longer with us. Rest in peace. Mm-hmm. He was an incredible instructor. He took me under his wing. I trained with him for about 6 years. I got ranked in Dukes-ryu Ninjutsu in 1996. Dukes and I fell out. I left that system shortly thereafter and started training in another system of ninjutsu, which is the Bujinkan under Grandmaster Masaki Hasumi. I found one of his instructors here in America, and I also trained in Japan under a few instructors out there as well.
Awesome.
I was ranked in Bujinkan in 2006. So that's my short background, as short as I can make it.
How did you feel your training? I mean, training in Japan. Was it different than what you get here in America?
It was interesting. Hasumi Sensei talks a lot about the flow. He also talks about a lot about just the feeling. You know, everything's about the feeling. You know, it's kind of like a fluid. Everything's more fluid. It's not as aggressive as we are as Americans. They move a lot from the hips. A lot of that, the hip movement is more important. You move that spine, using your spine to strike and so forth. When I trained here in America, all the energy was more aggressive, more fire energy. So,
because when I see you, I've seen you the way you move, mm-hmm. and I've seen the ninjutsu symbols. They usually have a triangle.
Correct.
And then when I see you move out, you're moving in a way.
It's called a 45. We use a 45 in
Can you demonstrate?
Allow me to show you.
Yeah.
For example, if I was to move out from this point here, I'm not going to step straight back. I'm going to step back at an angle here. And everything's at an angle. Okay. I'm coming at an angle. For example, if you were to throw a strike at me, I would step off here. You see?
Right.
So in other words, a lot of systems may teach you to block the strike. But we just choose not to be there when the strike gets there. Oh, yeah. You see what's happening there? Bam. All right. So the 45 triangle is called triangulation. And all the angular footwork allows you to kind of misdirect your opponent's energy.
Because you also see that same triangle,
you see it in jujitsu.
Yeah,
as well.
You see it in jujitsu. That's what I was going to mention.
And then utilize that triangle not just standing up, but on the ground as well.
But would you say that jujitsu comes from ninjutsu?
No. I wouldn't say that at all.
Sort of different, no?
No, I wouldn't say that at all. But understand that these martial arts, jujitsu, karate-do, judo, jujitsu, ninjutsu, all come from Japan. So a lot of the techniques are universal in that aspect.
They're very similar.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. How about I know you mentioned Frank Dukes. Now I know, he made that, Death Touch famous.
Denmark, yes.
I mean, what do you think about that?
I think
because I've actually seen it, I've seen it on YouTube or I've seen it on movies, but I think if somebody's not moving around, I mean, that's my personal opinion on that. Like, I think you could probably damage, or you could do a lot of damage if somebody's standing in one place and you actually have that focus point where you're going to attack.
I know what you're trying to say. Denmark, you're thinking about small points that are struck that has to be in a controlled environment.
Right.
As opposed to, Because when you're in a true combative situation,
in chaos.
these small things that you see, very intricate techniques you see that's done in a controlled environment can't be done, because in a chaotic situation, things don't go that way. You cannot concentrate on hitting a small focus when you have all these things going on. But Denmark, doesn't happen from a strike. It can happen from a certain pressure point. When you're pressing on a certain meridian in the body and you stop that blood flow or that energy flow, it can happen as well. So if I'm tied up with my opponent, if I'm using a certain press, that's called Denmark as well. It's not just a strike.
Okay? Got it. Okay.
But you can also do a pressure point if you're able to stabilize your opponent. But would I try it in a survival or combative situation in real life? I don't think so. I think maybe a gun may do just fine.
Pretty much. Yeah. Hey, what do you think about the gun law in Texas? Open and carry.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. I think that, a lot of things that's going on in this day and time would not go down if we had the gun law. So, pretty interesting. Yeah.
You know what? I was looking at, I saw a picture of these guys, in a restaurant. They had rifles right behind them. Right. Come on. I think we could make some money out of this. Probably make some gun racks. Yeah. In the restaurants. So.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of neat things that might happen. But you know what? I think it is cool that everybody has guns, but I'm actually more scared of accidental deaths happening by accidental shootings.
But accidental deaths and accidental shootings are happening now.
I know. But so, last year there were 7,000 children that were actually, I would say, hurt or killed by a gun, pretty much firing by itself, by accidental firing.
But the thing with that is this: these are happening under situations where the law has not been implemented yet. If that law was to be implemented, then training would be implemented as well.
I think training is very important.
Not only that, you would have all the safeguards, more so because of the fact that there's a gun law. So now that we have all these safe things that's added, now that all the guns have to have locks now, because now, if you think about it, all these accidents are happening because there's no gun law. So guns are just kind of randomly placed in their apartment, and the kid gets a hold of it, and boom. But if there's a gun law, you got all these little safety issues that's going to be addressed immediately.
Right. I get it. But you know what? If the gun laws, can you go to Texas and actually carry a sword with you?
A katana?
Yeah. Can you? Is it allowed? If you have a gun, can you walk around with a katana?
You gotta think about what's concealed and what's not concealed.
Wait, I'm more afraid, to tell you the truth, I'm more afraid of feeling that somebody's gonna cut my arm off than somebody shooting me. I think it's more, you know.
I've had both done, so one's more painful than the other. So,
really? Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's all the time we have. Thank you, Sensei, for coming again.
My pleasure. I'm honored. Thank you so much.
Coming talking about this issue. But anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to comment. Let us know what you think about this show. Don't forget to subscribe. You can find Sensei Richardson on the link below. You could also find me also there. You'll see my website. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon.